What's up, everybody? Happy holidays, 'tis the season, and we are heading towards New Year's. That means we are closing out 2025 and heading right into 2026. And man, was 2025 a wild year for precious metals. And I want to talk a little bit about my reflections on 2025 and what my plans are for both stacking and collecting in 2026. And hopefully that'll help you guys figure out some of your own plans. So first off, 2025 was absolutely bananas when it came to precious metals. So we started the year, 2025, we started the year in terms of silver at $28 an ounce. And today, just 365, less than 365 days later, we are at $64 an ounce. We are more than double. Silver has been a runaway freight train. And to tell you a little bit about how I invested in 2025 and before that, and sort of how I did, I have invested in silver in 3 different ways. One, I've bought silver bullion specifically to resell. I bought a monster box of silver back when it was about $40 an ounce, and now silver is about $64 an ounce. So I did really, really great on that. That was a big investment of physical silver that was bought specifically, speculatively, to buy and then flip. The second way I bought silver was on paper. That's right, I also buy silver on paper, not just physical silver bullion, even though that is obviously what my channel is mostly about and my passion. But sometimes when silver is not super readily available and there's an opportunity to buy, well, buying on paper, meaning an ETF that tracks the price of silver, or even buying silver or gold mining companies. I bought SLV, which is an ETF that tracks the price of silver, and I bought that, I think I bought that actually in 2024, but I did sell all of it in 2025 and did really, really well on that. So don't think that just because it's not physical silver and it doesn't fit your like stacking needs, you can still make really, really good profit on paper silver. And obviously most people who trade in commodities, they mostly do it on paper. The third way are things that I bought for my own personal stack. Now, for me, the difference between my stack and like say the monster box I bought, the monster box I bought knowing I was gonna sell it short term. My stack is something that I keep for myself. It sits in my safety deposit box at the bank for a rainy day. And when I say a rainy day, I'm talking about hopefully I'll never have to use it and I'll be able to pass it on to my future kids. So that is mostly gold. I've talked about that many, many times where I used to have a big silver stack, but it just got too unwieldy. When you have so much silver, when you start getting past that like 25, 30 pounds mark, and you go up to 50 pounds, which is what I had, it goes really nuts, right? Maybe if you've got a different setup than I do, but living in a big city, I don't really want to keep it at home, so I keep it in a safety deposit box. And when you get to that heavy weight, there's just no room. It just means you have to get a bigger and bigger and bigger box and spend more and more and more money. So I ended up doing a big trade about 3 years ago with one of my Patreon patrons, Jason, and I traded my entire silver stack for a small, more manageable amount of gold. Now, let's talk gold. Gold also blew up. It feels like just yesterday when gold was $1,800 an ounce, even less, $1,700 an ounce. And today it's past $4,000. So my stack has grown considerably in value just in the last year, which is absolutely phenomenal because when you've got this sort of rainy day fund in precious metals and it basically doubled, well, bada bing, bada boom, you feel just that much more secure and safe. So don't think that if you guys missed out this past year that the opportunities are over. Silver is still ripping. Gold is a mainstay. Gold has been an important investment tool for literally thousands of years. So even if you buy it now, as long as your plan is long-term, meaning you're buying to hold, you're not buying to flip, buying gold right now is still a phenomenal idea. Buying silver to hold is probably also a phenomenal idea, but I will say, there's a lot of online gurus out there that are saying silver is going to 100. Now, while I want to believe that, and I think that there's something to be said about momentum, and of course the gold-silver ratio, there's lots of reasons why to think that silver will continue to go up, but nobody actually knows. And I don't want any of the new people out there to start sinking their money into something that they don't really understand and then potentially getting wrecked when silver crashes. So take your time, do your own research. This is not advice to say one way or another, except to be cautious but excited. And that's how I feel. So let's talk a little bit about going into 2026 in terms of precious metals, and then we'll talk about my coin collecting goals, and maybe we'll even do a little state of the channel address, what I want to do about what I want to be showing on this channel going forward. So my plans for 2026, stay the course. my two main things are I'm going to be buying gold for my own personal stack, little by little. You know, I'm not Mr. Moneybags either. I'm an ordinary guy. I'm not going to have $1 million to spend on gold, right? So as I have opportunities to buy gold coins, I'm going to buy them, put them in my safety deposit box, and let them sit there for God knows how long. When there are opportunities for me to buy silver at a good price, especially if there's a dip, I am going to buy it hard, both physical and paper. So I'm going to be buying mostly monster boxes, I think. Buying monster boxes, I have a business partner that I split them with. So the two of us go in 50-50 on a monster box, wait a little bit, it pops, we resell it, silver dips, rinse and repeat. So that does require a little bit of capital to go in, but it is a really, really good way of making a couple extra bucks. And then of course I'm going to be trading SLV. I use Robinhood, but you guys can use any trading platform that you want. So that's my plan going forward. Obviously, I also have a business where I sell coins on Whatnot. And if you don't know what Whatnot is like the best thing for collectors and silver stackers. It is a live video auction app in which bidders and sellers come together in real time to buy and sell all sorts of cool collectibles. Obviously, I'm mostly into coins and precious metals, but they've got everything. If you collect it, it's on Whatnot. And if you use my link, whatnot.com/invite/silverpicker to download the app, you get $15 in Whatnot credit to spend on anything you want, whether at one of my auctions or anybody else's. And that won't last forever, so get in while the getting's good, download the app, use my link, and get your 15 bucks free. That is free silver, free gold. You cannot beat that. So I also sell on Whatnot, but that's usually from when I buy collections, and this is a good segue into my coin collecting stuff. I buy a lot of coin collections, and the way I do it is I go through it, I pick out a few pieces that I like for my own personal collection, and then I sell the rest, and I usually sell that on Whatnot. So I get good deals, you guys get good deals, and everybody's happy. So that's my sort of third way of buying and profiting off of precious metals and coins. Now, let's talk coin collecting. That's the fun part, right? The silver is fun, but it's, you know, it's an investment tool for me. The coins is what my real passion is, right? So, coin collecting. This past year, I had some really, really big wins. I've been working on my US typeset for over 10 years, and I finally completed it. Now, coin collecting is never like complete, right? Like you complete a set, but then you want to upgrade the grades, you want to get nicer specimens, et cetera, et cetera. And that's true about my US coin typeset. So I have finished it, meaning I've filled every single hole, I've completed it, but I still have a few coins that I'm not happy with that I want to upgrade. Now, I'm not trying to get a mint state set. I'm not trying to get like a super high-end set there, but I do want every coin to look nice, and I prefer none of them to be cleaned. I think I have a few cleaned coins in there and a few that are even, I'd say, damaged, and I'd like to replace those with nicer versions. But that's not my number one priority because I do have the full set. The next collection I've been working on that I've made a ton of progress on in 2025 is my US commemorative half-dollar typeset, which is a gorgeous sort of addendum, I would say, to the US typeset, and I've made a ton of progress. I went from basically 0 to about a third of the collection done. And I did that actually using all Whatnot credit. So when you guys sign up for Whatnot and get your $15 credit, I get a few bucks also. I get less, I get $5, but still, it adds up, and I use that money to buy these commemorative half-dollars. And I've gotten like, I think, almost 20 of them already. And they're not cheap. They are not cheap coins. So that is what I'm going to be mostly focusing my efforts on in 2026. And my goal, it is a very lofty, crazy goal, but my goal is to see if I can finish that album by the end of 2026. It's possible. And especially if you guys also sign up for Whatnot and get me a little bit extra that credit money, I mean, come on, that could really, really help it out, and we'll see what happens, right? So that's my number one collecting goal. I'm also doing a US gold typeset. That is going to be tough. That is going to be really tough to complete, especially with gold prices being so high. So what I'm going to try and do is I want to trade some of my gold bullion that I have. I have like some Krugerrands, and I also have some British sovereigns and some other stuff like that I think I want to trade to see if I can add coins to my US gold typeset and see if I can complete that. I don't think I'm going to complete it this year, but if I can add one or two good pieces to that set, I will be a very happy camper. Now, I also have a couple of other collections. I have my US currency typeset, which I've a little bit deprioritized just because I've been really enjoying the coins, and that is my true passion, even though I do love paper currency as well. I've kind of deprioritized that one, but if opportunities arise, obviously I will add to it. And then I have my British Mandate of Palestine set, which I have made almost no progress on, so I want to try and finish that out this year as well. I only have a few coins left. It's probably only a few $100s worth, so I'm going to see if maybe I can make some trades, make some deals, and that will really, really be great. Now, I also want to hear from you guys what your coin collecting goals are for this year and maybe what you accomplished. If you have some really big milestones from 2025 in your collecting or stacking, put it in the comments below. And I want to hear what you want to do for next year. So I have my work cut out for me. Like I said, I want to invest more in precious metals, grow my silver and gold stack, make more plays on paper silver, and I want to complete my US commemorative half-dollar type set, as well as adding to my gold type set and completing my British Mandate of Palestine set. So man, I have my work cut out for me, but I am very, very excited for 2026. I'm also really appreciative for each and every one of you that's continued to watch my videos. I had a few really big hit videos this year. I did a YouTube short that got over 6.5 million views, which is my most successful video by far. And it really is thanks to you guys for watching the channel and sticking with me for all these years. So I want to say thank you very much. Happy New Year's, happy holidays, and I've got so much more interesting stuff coming in 2026. Maybe I'll do a full state of the channel address in early 2026 and tell you what I've got planned for the channel. But this video is already dragging out and it's already long, so I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. In any case, I got a lot more awesome stuff coming down the pike, so stay tuned, and until then, Silver Picker out. A huge thank you to all of my wonderful patrons. You guys are amazing. If you're not yet a patron and want to become one, the links are below, and I can't wait to meet you in our private Discord server.